Hello to everyone. Welcome to my channel. I'm Ethel Odin. I want to talk about how I met my husband. The last video I talked about how I was in a relationship and how this man almost murdered me. And it took many years for me to trust anyone again. And I did not see anyone for it was 7 years. No one was in my life, and I had gotten saved, given my life to God, and I just want to live a quiet life. So one night I had went to a service, and it was a watch night service meeting. Whom don't know what that is? It is when you can watch the new year come in. And that's what happened. I was at that watch meeting service, and that's how I met my husband, but I did not know he would be my husband. I was introduced to him. And he started coming to church where I was going to church. And that's how we had become involved as a relationship. It was not a sexual relationship of any kind. It was just talking, and he became interested in me, and he wanted to know if he could date me. So we went on a date. It was the first date and the only date we went on. He was a man that he was a very nice man, and he still is, because he's my husband today. He treated me really nice. He was very kind. And that night that we had went out on our date, that first date and the only date, as I said, we really enjoyed ourselves. And the reason why I said it was the first date and the only date is because I decided that I would not keep going on a date with him. We would just see each other, how we could see each other. He would come down on my job to see me, my break. And he worked for General Motors. And so he would have time to get off to come and see me, or he would talk to me on the phone. And that's how I prefer it to be, because we did not want to get into anything have any kind of contacts sexually with each other, because I had changed my life and I wanted to stay celibate until I would get married to someone. As I said, it was about almost 7 years. And so he agreed to that. But it was later afterward. He had proposed to me. It was a short time after we had met each other. Now, I don't advise anyone to do this, but it was what we decided to do. I knew his mother, I knew his family. They was all church people. And so he was also a very nice man. And when he proposed to me, I said yes. So when he proposed to me, he took me to go and pick out my ring. It was very nice. I was very excited about that he wanted me to pick it out and not himself, because he wanted to make sure that I wanted to get what I wanted. And that's what I did. It was not a long time when I decided that I want to go from place to place to look for a ring. I saw the one that I really liked it, and I chose that one. And also my husband to be, he chose a ring. I picked that one out for him. And we continually to do as we was doing to see each other. Even though, when God have you to come together, just like in the old days, there was many that they did not have a romantic involvement, a relationship. Probably was Sarah and Abraham and Jacob. Also them that they also just married, because just like Jacob waited for his bride to be for 7 years. And before, I even got involved, as this relationship with my husband, his name is Bobby, that I had fast because I had started beginning to be tired of being alone. I had my son, he was very young, and he never knew his father. And I had fast for 3 days with no food, no water. And I prayed and asked God to give me a good man, a husband, someone who would really love me and would be good to me. Someone who would not beat on me, would not say bad, ugly things to me, or curse me, or abuse me in any form. I wanted a man that knew was godly, a godly man. And I talked to God about that. And the reason why I am saying this is because this is how I believe I was led to do so. Not saying any other young women should do this, but I am making this tape for whomever will hear it if they are in their early years between 20, 30, 40, 50, or however, maybe some older, that you can wait on your husband. You can trust God for a husband, someone who's going to be there for you and love you unconditionally. So I fasted for 3 days before I had met my future husband. And it wasn't very long after that, I believe some months later, which it was, when I met my future husband. And as I said, when he proposed to me and we went to go and get our rings, and within that time when he had proposed to me, it was a short proposal, a short uh, time, which was 6 months. As I said, I don't advise anyone to do this. But that's what happened. That we had gotten married. And also, it was a beautiful marriage. This is my husband. I want to show you. This is a part of my wedding. This is my husband, Bobby, on our wedding day. And also, this is us when we was getting married in the church. And also, this is me. This is me here. And that is a beautiful wedding gown. My sister made this wedding gown for me. She made me my hat to go with it. I didn't want a veil or anything, but this is what happened. She made me a beautiful wedding dress. And this is also the two of us together. This is the two of us here. And also this is here is my son when he had grew up to be this age when I got married to Bobby. He had become his father. So I want to show you these pictures here, how God had blessed me to finally get married to someone who have been a very good husband to me. And we have been married now for 37 years. How God have blessed our marriage to be that long, since it was a short time that we had become to know each other. So I want to tell whomever may hear this video, if you want a husband or you are waiting for your husband, because the word of God, it is the man who findeth a wife. It is not the woman who look for her husband. And if you are looking for someone that you know that you feel that you want in your heart, maybe God may not have sometime that type of man that you want. And as I said, it wasn't for us to date. We had trusted in God, and He knew I was the woman that He wanted. And I want to tell you that today, that all you have to do is just wait on God for your husband. And when you trust in God, that He will send you the one that He has prepared for you. He just wants the women, whomever you are that is waiting for your husband, to prepare yourself. That's not just the outward appearance, but prepare yourself inwardly, that you get close to God. You let the Lord nurture and teach you through His word. And you go on and just live for God. That's what I did for 7 years, and I'm still serving God. As a young woman, I was 35, going on 36, when I met my husband. And I just went on trusting God. One day I believed that I would get married. And I just continually did the works of God. And that when God will help you, He will help you to sustain yourself from falling into sin. Those things can be a setback for you when you are waiting for a husband. God just wants us to trust Him. And that's what I did. I trust God. And God brought me my husband. So I want to just leave that with you today, this testimony, to let you know that God has a husband waiting for you. And I want to also bring what God wants to do in marriages. I would be talking on some time about a series about marriage and what kept me and my husband together those 37 years. Marriage is what you have to work toward. You have to work in a marriage. You have to trust God in your marriage. And that's why our marriage lasts for 37 years. And I want to talk about that. I want to talk about how God blessed our marriage, how He kept us. Sometimes it's not all about what it wasn't for us. We didn't wait for years because sometimes that will cause you to fall in sin. We wanted to be, when we married, we wanted to make sure our life would be pleasing. It would be not where we would regret that we did not wait in that area. And see, I had lived that life of the world, giving myself, when I should have not done that. And I wanted to make sure that I would wait on the man that I would have in my life. And I hope this can help someone today. If you are waiting for your husband, God has him somewhere for you. Just like I did not know that I would meet my husband that night when I was waiting for the new year to come in. God had him right there. We can meet them in sometime in unexpected places. And that's what happened to me. So I hope that you had got something from this video today, and that God will have His way with you, that you would just continue to do as you're doing, to live for the Lord. And He will help you in that area. He will supply our every need. No matter what it is, He's that kind of a God. And that's how I live my life, trusted in Him, because that's what brought me to salvation, is believing in truth. And when we obey truth, you will have what you are in need of. So I hope you have, as I said, gotten something from this video today, ladies. You are wonderful. You are special. You are great. And you have greatness all within you. Greatness that wants to shine out of you. And when it happens, sometimes it's just so unexpectedly that the gifts of God that flows from us, all we have to do is to be available, and He will have His way in your life. He would use you for His purpose and for His glory. And I want to thank God for giving me this opportunity to want to come forth, to be a vessel in His hands, to do as He chooses to do with me. So I want to thank you today for hearing what I have to say. And if you like what I have said today, will you give me a thumbs up? And also, will you subscribe to this channel? I will really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And may God bless you. And goodbye.